Well, good morning or good afternoon, depending on when you're viewing the video. I'm Maurice Mitchell, and on behalf of the entire Fort Drum Soldier for Life Transition Assistance Program, I'd like to thank everybody for their time spent today. Today I'm online with Owen. Owen, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Owen Meador. I'm the corporate recruiter for Silgan Containers. I 31-year retired veteran, and I retired in 2017 December, and started with Silgan shortly after retirement. So as a corporate recruiter, I did 12 years of active duty service, and then did the rest of my time on active duty guard as a recruiter. So kind of natural how I ended up being corporate recruiter for Silgan Containers.
Well, Owen, let me tell you, thank you for your service to our great nation.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about your company.
Silgan Containers is the largest of 4 divisions that fall under the umbrella of Silgan Holdings. Silgan Containers makes or manufactures metal food containers. So I always use the phrase that if you've opened up a can of Campbell's soup, you've opened up one of Silgan's cans. So we Campbell's Soup, Del Monte, Frisky Pet Foods are some of our biggest customers. We have 30 plants across the nation for Silgan Containers, to include one down in Puerto Rico. There you go. And we have positions from all the way from the executive side. Some openings come up in there, from logistics to engineering, scientists, and then one of the biggest needs for us is skilled trades. And when we're talking skilled trades, we're talking about industrial mechanics, industrial electricians, millwright, and machinists. So that's some of the largest for us. What we're looking for is those positions. We do have a program. It's called the Manager Trainee Program, and in that program we hire on into this program. It's a salaried position. It starts out. It's a 2-year program that depending on your knowledge and what you can pick up, it can be what I call self-paced. So a lot of people graduate from that program within a year. Once you graduate, you're promoted to production supervisor, and then from there, your career path is. Our company president for Silgan Containers started out in the manager trainee program. Now he's the company president. So, yeah.
Okay. So you actually answered one of my questions. So let's go back one, and that is where are the majority of the jobs located?
And they're all across the nation. So we've got plants in from East Coast to West Coast, and from the Midwest down to the South. So we've got plants in Paris, Texas, which will have positions. There's a manager trainee position opening up there. We also have an HR manager position that's open there, and then they do have the skilled trades position, mechanics and whatnot. But we got plants again. From East Coast to West Coast. Modesto, California, we got probably 6 plants in that area. We got one in Sacramento, one in Antioch, California, and then Riverbank. And then we have the ones that are actually in Modesto would be our Riverside, Doherty, and Yosemite plants are right there within Modesto. So that's California. Then on the other side, Addison, New Jersey, Lyons, New York, Allentown, Pennsylvania, Maxton, North Carolina, which is just south of Fort Bragg. The one that's closest to Fort Drum is the Lyons, New York plant.
Okay. Now, I did just happen to have a can of Campbell's soup here. It's one of my stash-aways just in case I forget to bring lunch.
Right.
But kind of brings up an important point. This video, we're actually filming it during the COVID-19 crisis. And based upon what you've said, is it fair to say that even during COVID-19, your company is still hiring and will continue to employ through the future? Because after all, we all need cans.
Right. Yeah. Yes, we are an essential company that, and we continue to hire and work throughout the COVID-19 and still are. Matter of fact, a lot of the programs and stuff that we've been trying to work with are reaching out to those that are, are unemployed because of COVID-19 to try to offer those positions and find the employees to fill our ranks. We have, again, like in Allentown, Pennsylvania, just for example, we're actually growing there, adding more lines, so we're needing more production mechanics and some of our warehouse operators or forklift drivers type positions in that area. It's pretty strong. Industrial electricians is another one that's a hard one for us to fill. It's hard to find. And just, for your viewers that are interested in that and have electrical background, one of the key components of that is understanding PLCs. So programmable logical controls. So as you go through the hiring processes, that's one of the key things we look for when it comes to our industrial electricians.
Okay. Now, you started off by telling us you've spent 31 years in uniform. As such, can you tell us why you feel a veteran is going to be a good fit for your company? Or the other side is maybe the company is going to be a good fit for our veterans?
I think it goes both ways. I think the company is very veteran friendly. We have several examples. We have a former staff sergeant from the Army, Roberto, he's a plant manager now at Antioch, but he started off in the company as a mechanic, moved on up to being a superintendent and then the plant manager. So his progression. So the growth opportunities for anybody that comes in with the company, if you have the drive and you want to move up to, for lack of a better word, the ranks, we have all those opportunities here, and it's again very veteran friendly. On the other side of that, for us, pulling in veterans, one of the biggest things for us is naturally everybody talks about the work ethic, the timeliness, all the discipline that we go through when we're going through service. Every bit of that comes together for us at Silgan, and that's something we look for. So the marriage of the two is actually a pretty good fit for all.
Okay. Earlier, you talked about where a lot of the jobs or the employment opportunities are located. Where are you actually located at?
I'm actually located in Burlington, Iowa. So when I finished my career as a recruiter, actually I was an NCOIC for a region. I had Southeast Iowa as a region. I had 8 recruiters underneath me at the time for the Iowa Army National Guard. So when I retired, I was here. So my office is based in the Burlington plant. So to give you an example, I'm part of the corporate team, right? But I work here in my office in Burlington, working jobs from, I always say, sea to shiny sea, because I'm East Coast, West Coast, and all in between. So, but one of the key things about the Burlington plant is just a little example. We have several different technologies, 3 technologies that they use when they're making cans, and they have several types. They got 2-piece, they got 3-piece cans. Burlington, one of the things that really got me, when I first started, I applied for a manager trainee. And when they bring you in for that interview, the interview was like, I think it was 4 hours long altogether. I interviewed with 2 or 3 different people. They take you on a plant tour. You get to see the plant in motion. You get to see the type of machinery that they're using. It really wow factored me. It was, when I went in, I seen, because even as that's like a fork truck driver, forklift operator. I mean, a lot of people say fork truck driver. Oh, okay. Well, it's a really skilled position for us, because one of the things that they do when they stack these pallets as they make the product, they're, and I don't have the exact size, but 6 foot tall on this pallet, and then they stack them like 4 high, and then that fork truck driver comes in and he'll move that around. So you can just imagine the
balance.
This and that. You're looking up and seeing it all. So that's just one example. Then I go in and I see, and I was told, and I know now, that it's really only touched because it's all automated when they first load the raw materials on the machine, and then as it produces the cans, it goes through that process. It's all automated. And at the other end, that's when it's touched again by your forklift driver after it's been palletized. So anything in between is all our skilled labor. That's your production mechanics, your electricians. That's all them. Is they're monitoring the systems, making sure the quality is correct, making sure the machine's working properly. And if anything happens, they go in and they troubleshoot. And troubleshooting skills are the key factor. They go in, they troubleshoot the problem, and fix it as quick as possible. Because just for an example, in Burlington, Iowa, is somewhere near 6 million cans per day.
Before we close, do you want to give your contact information again?
Yeah, easiest way to contact me is through email. So it's the first letter of my first name, O, and then my last name, Meador, MEADOR, at SilganContainers.com.
Okay. All right, Owen, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I appreciate all the effort that you've went through to help us out as we've gone through this. And again, on behalf of the entire Fort Drum Soldier for Life Transition Assistance Program, we want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk to us about you and the company.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Appreciate
Good day.
it. Thank you.